We're going to learn about angle properties. Angle properties. Several times you're being told to find certain angles. So with these properties, they will help us to find the unknown angles. Okay? So the properties of an angle is basically important for us to know or for us to find unknown angles. We are going to look at several properties in this lesson, and I want you, the main thing here is to know the properties. With the properties, any question asked on the topic, it will be very, very simple. So the main thing here is for us to know the property. And the first property that I want us to look at is, angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So the first property is angles on a straight line adds up to 180 degrees. Angle on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. For example, when there are several angles that are coming from a straight line, the total sum of those angles will be 180 degrees. Let's look at an example, or let me explain using a diagram. For example, we have this line. Let's say this is a straight line, and we have said angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So we will have, let's say there is an angle at this point. So we have this angle, let's say angle X, and we have this angle Y. So when we say angles on a straight line add up to 180, we mean this. When we add X plus Y, because they are on a straight line, let's say this is the straight line PQ. The straight line PQ. Since angle X degrees and Y degrees, and like on a straight line PQ, they are supposed to add up to, when I add Y plus X, should give me 180 degrees. Y plus X should give me 180 degrees. So we say angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. That is X and Y. Let's do another example. For example, you can be told to find a certain angle. And since you know this property, the property is angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So since we know that property, let's find this angle. So we have that. So we've been told this one is, we are told this angle is 50 degrees. This one is 30 degrees. This is X degrees, and this one is 20 degrees. So we have that, and then we are told the question is find angle X. Find angle X. One thing you have to know, this is a straight line. This is a straight line. Straight line M, N. That is a straight line. Since that is a straight line, one thing we have to know is the property of a straight line. What do you know about straight line? Angles on a straight line. Angles on a straight line adds up to 180 degrees. So we know that. So we can easily find X. We will know that when we add all the angles, that is 50 degrees plus 30 degrees plus X degrees plus 20 degrees should give me what? 180 degrees. All these angles, when they are added, they should sum up to 180 degrees. So let's add 30, 50 plus 30 will give me 80 degrees plus x degrees plus 20 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. After that, now I still continue adding. You add the nodes together and nodes you don't add. You'll just remain with it that way. So 80 plus 20, that will give me 100 degrees. And then that one will give me plus x. I can't add 100 by x because I don't know what is x. So I'll just leave it to be x is equals to 180 degrees. So I will have x is equals to, let's move the nodes to be together. I want the nodes to be together. I want to leave the unknown on one side and the nodes to be together. So I'll have 180 degrees minus 100 degrees. X will be 80 degrees. So x have found out to be 80 degrees. And what has helped me? The first property which we have talked about. Through that property, I'm now able to find my x. And the first property we have said is angles on a straight line. We have said angles on a straight line adds up to 180 degrees. That is the first property. That is the first property. Let's look at the second property that I want us to look at. The second property is angle at a point add up to 360 degrees. The second property, angles at a point add up to 360 degrees. Angle at a point add up to 360 degrees. So what do we mean by angle at a point? Let's draw so that you can see what I mean by that. For example, we have this. For example, we have this. So we have these lines. We have these lines. We have that lines. They are at a point. They are meeting at one point. It's like the center. All the lines are meeting at this point. Okay? They are meeting at that point. Let me say the meeting point is 0. Or not 0, but let's say O. They are meeting at O. This is O. That point is O. So for example, let's say this angle is Y degrees. Okay? This one is X degrees. This one is W degrees. This one is Z degrees. This one is P degrees. And this one is M degrees. Those ones are angles. One thing you can see from these angles, they are meeting at this point. This angle, it is formed by this line. Angle M is formed by this and this, and they are meeting at that point, okay? This is the angle, they are meeting at this point, okay? And this angle also meets at that point, the same point. They are meeting at this one point. So when we're talking about angle at a point, these angles, they are from these points. So we say angle these are degrees. All those, if I add them, they should give me 100 and, it's not 100, sorry. They should give me 360 degrees. They should give me 360 degrees. So we say angle at a point add up to 360 degrees. Angle at a point add up to 360 degrees. Let's do an example now. Let's do an example. So we have this, let's say we have this one. We have those. We are told this angle is 155 degrees. 155 degrees. This angle is 160 degrees. We are told now to find x degrees. So we want to find x. Immediately you see that these angles, they are meeting at one point. They are meeting at one point. So, which property are you going to use? Angle at a point add up to 360 degrees. So let's do it together. So we are going to have 160 degrees plus 155 degrees plus x should give me 360 degrees. Angle at a point add up to 360 degrees. So let's add 160 plus 160 plus 155. That one will give me 300 and that one will give me 315 degrees plus x is equal to 360 degrees. 315 plus x is equal to 360. So for us to remain with x, we are going to take x to the other side. We are now with not x but this value to this side. So we have x is equal to 360 degrees minus 315. 360 degrees minus 315. So we're going to have, this one is 3, so let me write it well. So we have 315. This one is degrees. So we're going to get that the other angle will be 45 degrees. That is x. So this one is going to be 45 degrees. That is now the value of x. So we have used the second property. And the second property says that angle at a point add up to 360 degrees. Let's move to the third property. Let's move to the third property. The third property that I want us to know is alternating angles are equal. The third one is alternating, or we can say alternating or alternate angles, okay? Let's use alternate angles. Alternate angles are equal. When we're talking about alternate angles are equal, alternate angles are equal. For example, we have two parallel lines, okay? And those two parallel lines, do we know what a parallel line is? Those ones are two lines that can never meet, okay? They can never meet. So, for example, let me draw. We have these two parallel lines. We have these two parallel lines. And then we have one line cutting them. We have a line that cuts across them. So, when we're talking about alternate angles are equal, let's say we have here to be x degrees, and this one is y. X and y are alternating, and then we have p and z are also alternating, meaning if this one is 2 degrees, this one will also be 2 degrees. If this one is 40 degrees, this one also will be 40 degrees. So alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. For example, let's do an example. Let's do an example. We can be given this. We have that. So, let's say if this one is 70 degrees, we are told to find y. What will be y if that angle is 70 degrees? So, y will be also 70 degrees. If this one is 100, so we are told to find also this angle and this angle. How are we going to find it? We know that angles on a straight line, now this one is 70 degrees. But for us now to find this one, let's say P, we know that angles on a straight line add up to how many degrees? 180 degrees. So if this side is 70 degrees, this one will be how many degrees? It will be 180 degrees minus 70 degrees to give me 110 degrees. So this one is 110 degrees. And we know that the property that we are learning now is alternate angles are equal. This angle and this angle are alternating, so they are equal. So if this one is 110, this one is also 110 degrees. That one also is 110 degrees. So I want you to try out this task as we have a break. So we have this. That is 40 degrees, that is 120 degrees. This one is 60 degrees, find y. And then we have the next one is so we have that, and we've been told this angle is 100 degrees. That angle is 100 degrees. We are told find this angle. This angle is Z. Find angle Z. Find angle Z. Find angle Z.